Are you ready, Elaine?
No.
For what we're about to do?
No, don't do it.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. This one's extra fun for me because Lane has no idea what we're about to talk about. And I think that's important because you guys also have no idea. So now you are not alone. Lane is on your side.
I feel like I'm the husband in a TikTok video where the wife is like, my husband has no idea that I'm about to jump out at him in my underwear. And I'm just like walking up the stairs.
Good visual. Yeah. Oh my gosh, how fun. Well, guys, welcome back. If you've never listened to us before, I'm Jessica Hover.
I'm Lane Dealing-Cherland, and this is Very Good Enough, a podcast from Very Good Mothers Club.
And if this really is your first time listening, this probably isn't the best episode to start you off, but it's going to be a good time. So you can stay or you can leave to another one so that you know us better and then come back for this one because it's going to be good. Lane, have you ever heard of the 36 questions that make somebody fall in love with you?
Is this like a New York Times?
Yeah, it started as that and it kind of went everywhere.
Yeah.
And so lately what I've been doing when random people come over and I'm not sure how to host, I just pull out these questions and I ask, and they've been really fun. So I'm not going to ask you all 36 and I don't have my answers. I'm not premeditating this whole thing and then just telling you what I've told other people. We're going to just wing it. But what's fun about this is that the viewers are going to get to know us better, the listeners, but also I'm going to get to know you better and you're going to get to know me better. And I think we'll all fall in love with each other more.
We've been promising that. That's been the promise.
Yeah, we've definitely been trying. And if it doesn't work, I blame these questions because they say that they will work. Yeah.
It's nice to have an external source to be like,
yeah,
could have fallen in love, but you guys didn't do your
but
job.
You guys thought of the worst questions. So let's find out if these are great questions or bad questions.
Yay, fun.
So, sweet Lainey, given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest?
Paul Thomas Anderson, the filmmaker. He is the director, like the writer-director of like Boogie Nights and Punch Drunk Love and Phantom Thread.
Never seen any of these.
Oh my gosh. They would probably, maybe you might be a little bit too tenderhearted for them.
Are they spooky or sad?
They're not spooky.
Okay.
They are sad. They're very complicated. Okay. It's a lot of like, oh, this complicated person doing this complicated thing. Okay. They're like big feelings.
Okay.
And a lot.
You love that.
Sometimes they go unresolved. They're just, he makes the most beautiful movies in the whole wide world with the most interesting soundtracks. And he's like an auteur director, right? Like kind of who's like, when you call someone an auteur, it means that they're like the artist of the whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
So like he like writes and directs and does all the cinematography and all the things. And he's just like this person. He's married to Maya Rudolph, who's so funny.
Oh, really? Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah. I kind of think she would also need to be there, or maybe somebody else that he's very comfortable with because he's like sort of shy. He's like this like beautiful, shy
and
artist.
She doesn't come off that way.
No, she's super fun.
Yeah.
So I feel like you would need a bridge.
Right. And so both of them. So you pick two people.
Well, him and probably somebody who he'd be comfortable with.
Anyone.
I'm open to whomever else it would need
it.
to be. I probably would not ask him about his movies, but I would ask him about all movies and all music.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. He's just special.
Okay.
He's just like a real artist, you know?
Yeah, totally.
He's like a real one.
Totally. Do you know who Iris Apfel is?
I have heard that name. I need context. Yeah.
That is who I would choose today. I have asked these questions and I have answered differently each time.
Yeah, I would probably answer differently. Yeah.
I also said Ted Lasso, the actor.
Oh, Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis.
You know what? On the other side of Jason Sudeikis' divorce, I would pick Olivia Wilde also.
Oh, see?
She is.
That,
speaking of movie directors. Whoa.
Yeah. So Iris, this is her. And she's, guys, you should Google her if you don't know who it is. Iris Apfel. I think there's a Netflix documentary about her.
Okay, I'm going to describe her.
Yeah.
In this image, she's a very old woman with white hair that's cut kind of short, but she has one little piece of her bangs like flipped down around so that it lands on her forehead. She has glasses that look like the fashion designer from The Incredibles.
Yeah.
Like big, round, thick black ones that stick off the side of her face, and super bright lipstick. And the coat that she's wearing is green with like a big Captain Hook collar on it, and like red and orange cuffs. It's like vibrantly green, and it looks like there's like a tangle of threads and things down the front of it. It's like wildly eccentric.
So she always dresses like that. When I used to work at Fashion Week in New York City, she would sometimes be there with some other like elderly, gorgeous women. I'm allowed to call her elderly, right? I don't know what offends people. She's 101.
She's definitely elderly. Surely
applies.
You get to say.
Thank you.
No disrespect.
But like
it's accurate.
Gorgeous, fashionable, and would just sit out there, and she's very confident. And actually, this is a fun fact that I never tell anyone. I was going to name Jules Iris after her. Oh. But then a little bit before Jules was born, my friend had a daughter and named her Iris.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, she didn't know that I had been like, I think Iris is the name. And so I can't get mad. But then she's a friend that I see enough that it would have been odd if I also chose the name Iris. Yeah. I mean, she's so great. The mom is that she probably would have been like, it's fun. But
and yet it's a
better.
Weird thing to do. I worked with some coworkers who like one of them had the due date before the other one and stole the other one's name. Don't do it.
No, it's bad.
It's weird.
Yeah, my friend had that with her sister-in-law. It happened multiple times. Yeah, she would say, I mean, she had names picked out since we were young. And yeah, the sister-in-law, yeah. If I get too specific, people listening are going to know. But yeah, really odd. Okay, amazing. Ready. Next question. Thank you guys. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being at my show.
It's like you're at a Q&A.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank you for that question.
This is like my dream fulfilled of like when I wanted to be Oprah or Ellen or something, or Rosie O'Donnell before she had a reputation for not being very friendly. Would you like to be famous, and in what way?
Okay. I would not like to be famous like with my face.
Okay.
I do have the kind of like ambition inside that's like, oh, it would be cool to be like the kind of person who like people who know about you. You know, who's like made a contribution that then like benefits other people's arts or whatever the thing is that they make.
Yeah.
To where like you are not like walking down the street where people know you.
So to a certain circle, you're famous.
Yeah. I think that this is a really elitist answer that I'm giving right now.
Why? Why is it elitist? Maybe I don't know that much about elitism. Probably because I'm so elite. That's what someone who cares about that would be like, yeah, of course you don't.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Fish don't know about water jets.
Right. But I live with someone who is famous to a certain group, Sean Hover, in skateboarding.
Indeed.
2 skateboarders who know he is very special.
One of my neighbors is a person to whom Sean is very special.
Oh, yeah. No, and it's funny because whenever I'm with Sean, skaters really like us both. So then I sometimes will see skaters when I'm not with Sean, and I assume that they also like me. And they know nothing about me. And I'm just a weirdo who's like, cool trick. That was cool. Try again. I believe in you. And they're like, all right.
Thanks,
but
Mom.
I like leave being like, oh, come on. I'm Sean Hover's wife.
I'm that girl.
I like skateboarding.
Do you want to be famous?
Yeah. So there's 2 answers. One is that I think sometimes I want to be famous. This is like a vulnerable answer, but you're my friend and they're my listeners, so they probably know me. I think there's something deep down in me that has wanted to be famous because I thought if I was loved by a lot of people, it would be really satisfying inside. I think that comes from like a broken place where like I didn't feel loved. It's sort of like the same thing. I remember being a little kid and being like, I want to be really, really good at school or really good at volleyball or really good at things so people are impressed, because if they're impressed, I will feel good. And that just doesn't actually work. So there's that like sort of broken side of it or shadowy side of it. And then there's the other side that's like, yeah, I think I would like to be famous in the sense that I am broadly known, but I would like to be broadly known for something good versus like, I put out a sex tape. Cool. Like now you all know who I am.
Yeah.
No shame if you guys are listening and you have a sex tape, though I doubt you would listen to me. But perhaps, I would like to be known for things that make people's lives better.
Yeah.
But you can't be liked by everyone. So that gets trippy, you know, if you're like reading through your own comments on social media and then some people are saying like, you're so great. And then other people are like, you're the worst. And then, you just can't attach your identity. So you could be famous and not liked. Right. I don't know. It's complicated.
That's the part about famous that seems very tricky to me, is that there is an inherent loss of control.
Right.
In just like my name or my image or my thoughts or whatever. They're just out there way far away from me where I can't get them back or like necessarily dictate how they get handled.
Yeah.
Like that's
a
really
that's the
true
point.
Part.
Yeah. You can't control the perception of you once the perception is really big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think I would like to be famous, but then I'm not famous. So once I got famous, maybe I'd be like, I don't like this. But then by the time you're there, can't go back.
Famous.
Thanks.
I really want that one. Everybody to know about you. I want everybody to listen to you.
Thank you.
All the time. Even just the other day when I was editing a podcast, I took my headphones off and I was like, I'm so happy she has a podcast. Everyone should hear her talk. Whatever you were talking about was so beautiful.
Really?
Yeah. I just wanted everyone to hear it from you.
Weirdly, that could make me cry. That was a really nice thing to say.
I mean it.
Maybe I'm emotional. I mean, obviously, we know that about me. Okay. That was really beautiful. Oh, here's a good one. Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say and why?
Switch that, reverse that question right around and ask me if I ever don't rehearse. And the answer is no.
I was thinking I sometimes rehearse text messages. Hey, how are you? No, that's stupid. Gosh. Hey, smiley face. No, dumb.
Sometimes you have to say a text out loud so that you know how it's going to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe this goes back to the codependency conversation we had at some point of being like, I gotta control how everything I do makes everybody feel. Yeah, I don't know, always. Sweaty palms all the time. I think phone calls are scary. Actually, you called me a little while ago for the first time and left me a message being like, I'm really sorry if a phone call is too intense.
I know.
And I was like, I felt so seen and respected, which it isn't. You can always call me. But sometimes I do get scared every time the phone rings.
When it's like your first time calling someone, you're like, maybe this is aggressive. Maybe you think I'm having an emergency. Maybe, because we're not used to doing it. But I actually really like phone calls. I used to love when people would call my house and I would answer and be like, hello. Well, I have two moms and they had different last names. Hello. Oh, I can't say their names. Privacy's sake. Oh, well, just one is long.
This is the
dang it. This is the too many syllable residence. And they're like, what? Put your mom on the phone. And I'm like, but that was so fun. Wasn't I good at that?
I love that.
Yeah, but I also rehearse for sure.
I always think I'm in trouble when my phone rings.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why.
What do you think about?
It's never someone calling to get me in trouble ever.
Right.
Like 0 out of any times ever.
Yeah.
But I always think I'm about
What
to be
about
in trouble.
audio messages? What do you think about those?
That's way easier.
Okay.
Yeah, that's calm.
Do you ever think they're a little annoying?
No.
Okay. I was talking to my sister about this yesterday. At a time, I thought they were annoying. I don't know why. Maybe because reading is fast and then audio is like, oh no, it's 3 minutes. Okay, I have to find 3 minutes. Maybe I don't have 3 minutes in this moment. But I now love them because for far away friends, we can be in touch. And it's so to hear somebody's voice inflection when you're talking about how you're doing is really nice. Yeah. And then I can audio them and then 3 days later or 7 days later, they can audio me and we are having a conversation, but it's just going for a long time versus being like, hey, do you want to FaceTime on this time on this day? And it feels daunting somehow.
Yeah. Anyway. That's nice that you can get you can really hear what people mean without having to immediately respond. It's kind of the best of both.
Yes, totally. Okay. I'm going to skip ahead because I'm not doing all 36 guys, even though I'm sure you would want to listen to 36.
I wonder if we will become proportionately in love based on how many questions. 36 would be 100%.
I do like you more. Okay. Name 3 things that you and your partner have in common, except for I think this means that we're partners. Because I was thinking it meant you and Connor.
Yeah.
But I think it actually is going to refer to me. Yeah. It's going to refer to me. So
what do you want it to refer to?
Okay. Let's refer to me because this is cute. 3 things that you and I appear to have in common.
Appear to have in common.
At this stage of our relationship, what do we think we have in common?
Well, I do look at us on a screen for long periods of time, and we do appear to be similarly aged white ladies who sound the same.
I think you just did a few because the sounding the same could be a standalone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the computer doesn't know.
Yeah, I use a transcription service for something for this podcast, and it has a really hard time telling when I have stopped talking and you have begun or the other way around. It just bleeds it all together.
Someone recently was like, your voices are so soothing. And I was like, that's really cute. They probably both are equally same level of soothe. Okay, so we have similar appearance, similar voice, and I would say we have a similar desire to approach things from like a place of here's what I think, and I honor if what you think is different from what I think. And I would love to maintain a level of humility where we could like have a conversation about it and I don't know, be respectful. There's something about that I see in you that I share.
Yeah, that's a huge shared value.
Yeah. Cool. Oh my gosh, fun.
So much.
Okay. Okay, if you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be? You might have family members. If this is at all going to be offensive.
I'll take my top off on this podcast instead of answering this question.
That t-shirt instead of this question. Yeah, you have family who listens and I probably have family who listens. So we don't need to say anything that we think might,
Yeah.
But just any one thing.
Dear internet, what do I want to tell you the answer to this question is? I would like to have experienced a wider range of things. I would like to have like either lived in a place or had effort put into like meeting very different kinds of people than me and trying a lot of different kinds of food and learning like a lot. Just I feel that my childhood was feels like kind of a tight space. Like my community were all people who had a shared set of beliefs and were like relatively similar to one another. It was pretty white and like pretty similar socioeconomic strata. Like everything was, and I mean, we spent a lot of time within our own family. Like my extended family is quite large. So there was a lot of, I would say quite a bit of homogeny built into kind of the structure of my childhood. And I think it would have been cool to experience a lot more different things early.
Yeah, cool. That's a good one. I like that. I think I think that looking backwards, there were like, I wonder if I can even answer the question like this. I'm going to do it.
This was definitely a question designed to be answered over like an intimate candlelight dinner.
For sure. For sure. I think looking backwards, I wish my family had more mental health support. Like even I would have been affected positively had my parents had more support. And I think that without going into details, dear internet, it's something that things would have been different had the grown-ups in my life felt more supported mentally or had access. I think we are very lucky right now. And I'm so thankful that the world is the way it is, where there's a lot of attention around our mental well-being and like a lot of encouragement to take care of our minds, take care of our brains. I don't think at that point it was as like a part of the conversation day to day.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's what I wish. I think like as a kid, I probably could have used it, but I think my parents, had they been able to get it, it would have shaped my childhood differently too.
I think a lot of us would relate to you on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know?
Ooh. This is interesting.
Yeah.
A, I have a crystal ball. B, that's the true story. B, I have a lot of respect for secrets. I'm the kind of person who like, if I walk up and you guys stop talking, I'm like, oh, sorry, I'll just give you a second. Like, I don't need to know what you were talking about.
Cute. Wow.
Or if someone's like, I changed my mind, I think I don't want to share. I'm like, cool. I'll just like sort of move on. So like mystery, like I like a lot of mystery in life, and I don't feel like I need to know everything. Like that kind of curiosity doesn't eat at me. I would say that I'm more like, if one side is wonder and one side is curiosity, I have a lot of like, ooh, wow, look at all these things, but I don't have as much of the like, but what was that? And what is it? And what will it be? Do I want to know something? Maybe I don't want to know anything.
Really? Oh, that's cool.
I don't know.
Yeah, because maybe part of the fun is that you discover it as you go.
Yeah. And I've changed so much as a person that any previous version of me, finding out about any older version of me, would be like, whoa, that's not what we want.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Yet.
Sometimes I feel like I wish I could know things.
Yeah.
Sort of like if I work really hard on this job endeavor, hoping that it will arrive to a certain like okay, this is a real one, like a certain level of income for me and my family.
Sure.
Sometimes I wish I could know, is it not going to work?
Right.
Because if it's not going to work, it feels kind of bad to waste a lot of time and energy. But then that's sort of a not great way to live, because like yesterday, Ellie was like, I don't want to play unless I'm going to win. And I was like, oh, honey, then you're going to miss so much life, because so much of life is just playing to play. And maybe that's the advice I need myself.
And what do we do with this knowledge, I guess, is the question. Would we just use it to like try and delete future suffering? Because that we would also lose out.
Yeah, true.
I think on a lot of what makes us people. I guess I'm going on a trip to Paris next month.
I know.
And I would like to know now what the weather is going to be like, so that I know if I need to order anything.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
It's going to be
as
chilly.
far in advance as I want to chilly.
Bundle
next
up.
month in Paris.
Get a great jacket, unless you already have one.
It could be kind of warmish. It's springtime.
Well, I don't think it's going to be that warm. No, Spain wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very helpful.
Yeah. I mean, I was closer to the water, but you'll be by water. I don't know, honey. I think get a jacket.
Okay.
Wear a fashion jacket. Even if you take it off, make sure you have one.
So you don't need a crystal ball. Just ask your friends.
Yeah. Ask your friends. Okay. We are moving right along. It like takes you through levels of intimacy. So like the first ones were the icebreakers, and then that one that we just talked about, like family stuff, that was on like next level. Okay. How close and warm is your family, and do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people's?
Yes. My family is very warm.
Okay.
I would say warmer than close.
Oh, like interesting.
A lot of warmth. Not a lot of frequency.
Okay.
Like my brother was just here for a couple of days.
He was? No way.
He left yesterday.
Oh my gosh, cool.
Yeah. I saw Dan yesterday because, they all met up for lunch.
Oh, nice.
This is us literally catching up on a podcast.
That's so cool. Oh, fun.
Yeah, very fun. And so he was here with his girlfriend, who he's been with for, I think, a couple of years, whom I only learned about when I met Dan. The friend who introduced us used to be in a band with my brother and moved here a few months ago. Yeah.
Wow, that's really funny.
Yeah. And so I just met her, didn't know she was alive until I met Dan.
Got it.
And that's not like a problem in our relationship. That's like, oh, got it. Yeah, cool. I'm so happy that he has someone. She's a delight. It was an absolutely delicious pleasure to meet her.
Yeah, so you guys are warm. Yeah. But then the closeness maybe would mean like consistent.
Like he snuggled me all week, all the last couple of days, to a degree that like both she and Connor took pictures of it. Like the warmth is huge.
That's so cute.
But the closeness, like I haven't really spoken to him.
Yeah, you didn't know about his girlfriend.
I don't know that we had like a conversation in a couple of years.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah, makes sense.
So there's like a lot of warmth.
Happier childhood than others?
When my childhood was happening, I thought that it was very happy.
Yeah. Cool. That was a great answer.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good answer, because sometimes we are like, our looking back lens can taint everything and then make us forget that actually we had a good time during many things.
Yeah. Also, we were in a community that was with like a lot of people who were like really suffering. And so the perspective my childhood felt much happier than a lot of people who were around me who were like really struggling.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I also think you're very empathetic, and it's hard for you to live without recognizing that there's a lot of suffering going on. I'm also like that. So I definitely think my childhood was happier than lots of people. It was happy. And my family has gotten warmer as I've gotten older. I think that I wouldn't have described it in certain periods of my life as super like warm or close. I'm close with my sister. We were like each other's little team. But in the older years of my life, more recent years, actually, like I would say my 20s and then into now, I was able to choose how I wanted to act and how I wanted to relate. And I think also maybe as I've become an adult, it's taken some fear or something, pressure off my parents, where they're like, oh, she's okay. Even if they worry about me, like they're more like, she'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, there must be something threatening about watching your children like move into adulthood and being like, they're cooked now. I wonder how it went.
Yeah.
You know, like where they don't have
gosh.
control anymore, and now they just get to see like how you turned out.
Totally. Which my kids won't experience because they're staying in my house forever.
They're gonna be
that's
so
healthy
little.
And safe.
Yeah.
They're just gonna
We're just
stay
gonna sit on
little.
them so they stay small.
Exactly. Okay, we're getting to the end of this podcast, guys. This is just a fun one, but I feel like I'm learning and we're just having some intimacy. Oh, but what I was going to say about this is I was listening to a podcast that I really like, and I specifically wanted to listen to one where they were just basically talking about who they are in their life because I wanted to know more of who it was that I listened to when I listened to them. So
yeah, actually,
this is fun.
This might be a great first one.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay. So I take it back. If you made it this far and this is your first episode, nice to meet you.
Welcome.
Okay. Oh my gosh, this is like an intense one. Oh, okay. This is less intense. So your house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving Connor, you have time to safely make one final dash to save an item. What do you save? And I'm going to add to this. You can save as much as you can grab because you have 2 arms and they carry a lot. Why would you just?
Well, they're probably really tired from carrying Connor down the stairs.
He's like, hold me. Our house is on fire.
Yeah. I mean, you just met my downstairs neighbor, Dave, and he might need to be checked on.
Yeah, true.
Let's see. I've invested a lot in some of these plants.
I know.
Both with my heart and some of them with my money.
Yeah.
This piece of art that is behind us is very precious to me.
So you would save that?
Maybe that.
That is so sweet of that. That art is so happy.
Yeah, I love it so much. It's like a vintage lithograph. It's like the first piece of like art
so
art
cool.
that I bought myself as a grown-up when I was managing the vintage store.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe the computer that this is, or the camera that this is being filmed on, or the computer that these get edited on.
Right.
Maybe there's a hard drive. That's too practical. That's not fun.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes sense. Yeah, mine is like passports, birth certificates, the things that are so annoying to replace. And then I have photos of the kids that are in like these little photo books that I printed. And I think the purpose of having those was because I was like, maybe they'll get deleted from my phone or like the clouds or whatever, you know, they're just floating until they're not. So I'm like, if I have them in these books, then I can hold them. So maybe I'd want to save the books.
Yeah. That's a really good answer.
But every night with Wilson before bed, he says, pray against fires and fire alarms because our fire alarm is the worst and goes off at random. So he doesn't want either. So I pray every night for those. And we thank God for trucks and we pray against those things.
Yeah. Why do they still make them like that? We all hate
that. I know. And yeah, I've talked to the homeowner about it. I don't think she listens to this podcast, but she was like, well, you'll be thankful when there's a real fire. And I was like, no, I won't. I will not believe there's a real fire. I will burn because I will think this thing is tricking me.
Your smoke detector is endangering my life, landlord.
Like, this is not real.
It's making me so cynical that I'm going to die in the fire just to spite you.
But it's the worst sound. Ours is really loud and they put one in every single room and some have multiple in the hallway. There's just scattered. I'm like, I've never seen so many fire alarms in one place. Okay. Share a personal problem with me and ask my advice on how I might handle it. Ask me to reflect back to you. This is such a funny last one. Oh my gosh. Good luck. Okay. Ask me, your partner, to reflect back to you how you seem to be feeling about the problem that you have chosen. So you're thinking through a personal problem. You're asking my advice on it and how I might handle it. And then I'm going to tell you how you seem to be feeling about the problem. And I'll also do the same. So let me just think.
Yeah. At what level of problem? Because I have big ones and I have very stupid ones.
Well, just whatever level you feel like the internet you would want them to know about. This is a safe space.
Yeah. YouTube is
super safe. Anything on the internet is like really safe from just like the worst people.
People are so gentle there.
Yeah. So
really understanding.
Yeah.
What is my personal problem? Well, I have a small personal problem, which is that I bought on sale 8 pairs of the same underwear.
Wow.
that are a material that's very nice.
Okay.
But they come up, they're really high-waisted.
Oh, yeah.
And they did not look so high-waisted.
Okay.
On the model.
Uh-huh.
The model was shaped a little bit more like this. My arms are parallel.
Okay.
Where I am shaped a little bit more like this. My arms are round.
Okay.
And it's fine. Like all my pants are high-waisted.
Sure.
But it's not comfortable. They're like high-waisted thongs. So either I'm like pulling them down and they're kind of like flattening out the part of my hips that's kind of fatty, which like if nothing's squeezing them, then it's like nice and round and cool. Right. But then when something's squeezing them, then I look bumpy. Yeah. But if I let them go all the way up, then you have the thong hurting. Yeah. I can't return them because I bought them on sale.
Oh my gosh.
I want to cut the top off.
Wow.
So that they're not so high waisted.
What brand are they?
Parade.
Okay.
Like,
oh, nice.
Like internet underwear,
cute.
you know,
okay.
like Instagram ad underwear.
Okay.
And I am concerned that if I cut the top off, then instead they will just fray.
Like fray apart. Yeah.
But they're that like seamless material that's like tight woven. So it doesn't have, because I don't let there be stitching around underwear because that is so many problems. This is my underwear problem.
What I'm hearing you say,
please give me your advice.
What I'm hearing you say is that you want to cut your underwear.
Yeah.
And you're concerned. I hear you're concerned.
Thank you for reflecting.
And I want to meet you where you are because I would feel the same. Yeah, that's a real problem. This is a very real problem. And what I would say is that it sounds like you have 8 pairs. And so perhaps you could try cutting one. And then go from there is the trial period that you need. And then if it goes great, you can cut the other 7. I just bonked the microphone with my nose. And if it goes badly, you have 7 more.
Yeah.
To try and figure out what to do. You could take them to the local tailor and say, I need to hem these.
Tailor, these high-waisted internet thongs for me, please.
Really important. Yeah. I laugh into the microphone. It's like I'm laughing right into your ear, guys. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I think that was really good advice.
You are so welcome. Anytime. I actually have a podcast, so you can listen to me weekly if you want. Okay, my problem is that I do many things all day and night, and I sometimes wake up with my kids and then can't fall back asleep because I'm thinking of the things I need to do. Yeah. And I think that I am lately trying to figure out how do you figure out I'm trying to figure out how do you figure out the few things to focus on. And I think it comes down to like money and time, because I'm right now serving as the breadwinner for our family, which sounds so amazing, but there's no bread. I'm not bringing home much bread.
Yes.
And so that's okay.
A lot of winning.
There's no bread. Yeah. And the thing is, Sean and I were talking last night, like, I feel so thankful for how rich I am in the things that matter. And I am not deprived. Like, people are so generous with me. I live a very comfortable life, but when it comes to money in the account to pay bills, it's not yet in a place where I'm like, oh, cool. Right. You know, it's sort of the monthly, like, okay, all right, we're going to do this, you know? And so I kind of like spin my wheels going really fast. Like, I'm going to try and do this, and I'm going to do this to make some money, and I'm going to do this to try and help Very Good Mothers Club get to a place where it'll grow. And the question I keep asking is it sort of is like, am I an idiot? Like, am I a dummy? Like, it's basically, if I was on the outside looking in, would it be super obvious what I'm supposed to do? But because I'm inside my situation, it's not that obvious. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It sounds to me like you feel
Thank you.
Overworked.
Yeah.
Underpaid.
Sure.
And also, and gosh, this one's it's so real. Also concerned that like others could perceive you as missing the mark.
Yeah.
Which is this like layer of frosting over the actual things to feel stressed about.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I hate it when my people reach out to me, like my close people, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm so busy. As if sometimes busy is like a badge people wear proudly, like, oh, she is so busy. But I don't feel that. I feel like sort of dumb. So I'm like, sorry, I'm so busy, but like, I don't know if I have that much to show for it. But if years down the road, the work that I'm investing into the things I'm doing were to really grow, really help people, really provide for myself, really provide jobs for the people I love, then that's like the crystal ball thing. This is coming full circle. Those are the things that I'm like, if I could just know now that they're going to fail, then I wouldn't spin so fast, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Right. This is it.
Yeah. I am wondering if there's sort of a category of things that you could be looking for where, like we've talked on some previous episodes about like codependency and kind of like the workaholism that can create. I guess what I noticed for myself is I feel a lot of what you're saying as well. And I notice that sometimes I'm being reflexively tasky and busy because I'm in that mode. Yeah. When I don't necessarily have to actually do that additional small thing. Like that's not actually building toward any of the things that I decided to work on today. Right. So I'm wondering if there's space for you to relieve some of your stress by just trying to notice, like when you feel your hand just go to do something, like, oh, actually, is this on my list? Or do I just know that I can do it? Because of course you can really do it. Like you're very competent. That's why you're in this circumstance with so many plates, because you're a person who can have so many plates. Yeah. And I wonder if like maybe some margin would be created, and then like even just the consciousness that you can like, rather than like unconsciously just flurrying through a day, start to be like, oh, I'm building in a process of asking, do you need to do this right now? Is this in line with the 4, which is too many in a day things that I'm trying to do? Or is this just like a weird extra? Yeah,
that I'm adding because it's just the way I've built my life to be.
Yeah, and then maybe really like the bigger things that you do want to focus on might become more concrete and clear in front of you.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm reading the book Essentialism. It's really good so far. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. He said something so cool. He said that years ago, priority, the word was created to mean the one prior thing. Like it was brought to the English language to be the one thing, the priority. And only in the 1900s did we make it priorities. Plural. And he's like, do we not see the irony of like having a meeting and being like, here are 10 priorities? And he's like, no, that's not even how that is supposed to be used. I thought that was helpful because I have so many priorities that I'm just falling like,
right. I actually have no priorities. It's soup.
Yeah, it's urgent soup. Things. Thank you. Soup. Yeah, urgency soup that we're eating every day, and we don't want to do that.
Yeah. I just want to reflect back to you that that's a really vulnerable position to be in.
Thank you.
To be a person who's trying to build your own empire.
Yeah.
It's big.
Yeah.
And you are risking.
Yeah. That even sounds scary. Build your own empire.
I mean, even like your own little empire.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
It's big.
You give good advice.
Thank you.
That's why we're here. That's what happened in real life. This happened. And then we were like, we should do this together. Oh, I knocked the microphone. Okay, you guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here and for joining this whole thing that's happening. Please join us in our Very Good Mothers Club community. It's verygoodmothersclubhouse.com. And Lane and I lead Zoom calls once a month in there. And then you can also correspond with each other and with us throughout the month. And it gives us the opportunity to get to know you better and be able to create podcasts around your actual needs and the things you want to hear about. So we would love to have you in there, and good job. Bye.